Hello, and welcome to another City Skylines video on West Goldfield. Now today off the bat there are a few problems, and the main one I do want to solve easily is the problem with our oil port over here. As we can see, it had a crime scene, which means a crime was committed and police haven't responded yet. So, we should be able to fix this by actually putting this area in a district. Additionally, I did also notice our storage is completely full. So I do want to try to build tankers, but it seems like it isn't going to work because clearance is too low, even though there isn't anything here. Nonetheless, what we will be able to do is focus on other things in the meantime. Something I've been wanting to do is add some farmland to this area, just because it is pretty bland and has nothing going on. So I will actually downgrade this road too. And then we should just be able to put a farm. And there we go. I did have to add a animal farm instead of a normal farm such as grain farming or vegetable or textile farming, just because there wasn't actually fertile land here. But this should be useful for just generating more, and as it is near an industrial zone, it's actually a pretty good place to have it. Now again, there is plenty of space in here, but I am just not too sure how I am going to get a road in there, I guess. I mean, I suppose I'll be able to kind of slip one around here, so I'll just do that now. And there we go. Even though it is sort of snowy and wintry now, I do think once we see grass and the actual farmland become visible, it is going to look very nice. Now I am also noticing there is space here too that I probably won't use, so I will put some farms here. There we go, that is all the farmland we really can add. Now, as we know, our demand bar is still really high, but I am also noticing there is still a ton of traffic for moving into this city, which I do think is actually mainly caused by pedestrian traffic. So I think a fix to that would definitely be improving the public transit in this area. Now, I am also noticing though, this this metro router is actually getting some pretty good use. But I really am a little confused as far as where these pedestrians are walking. I know they are walking towards a bus line over here, but I mean, they might even just be walking into the city. But again, I don't feel like there's a ton of things over here that people would walk there to go to. Maybe it is more people walking here though. So, I do think a metro station will be needed, but I do think a metro line is going to be required over here. Now the question I think becomes more of, where do we put it? Do we put it in this commercial area, or do we put it deeper into the city over here? And honestly, I think over here is the better option, as there isn't a ton of traffic over here, even with cars. So foot traffic probably wouldn't be too much of a big deal. So I do think I will just place it there and connect up the lines. As per usual, we will upgrade the station and also make tickets free. Now, something else I realized on the topic of public transportation, our tram lines have been completely gotten rid of. So we might not quite yet get rid of the tram depots, but we will definitely turn both of them off. This will save us some money, and it also just makes sense. Now, as we do have a ton of demand, I do want to look towards where we could continue to build. Now, over here is looking like the answer, as we know it's a pretty well-developed area, and there aren't a ton of traffic problems. With that said, though, there are enough that I do want to address them. I do think I want to buy this tile over here, or this one over here, probably this one though, and just sort of take a highway, or like expressway through here, and maybe eventually also connect a expressway and bridge to go over here. Now, we do have the money, so I do think that's the move we'll make, as this will allow for expansion of this whole area to become easier. So now, as far as the expressway, I want to now consider how we're actually going to do it. Now, I don't really want to put a raised expressway, as that can actually lower land value, but I don't necessarily want to put a tunnel either. Now, this might be a compromise, because as we can see, we can actually recess it into the ground, but still take roads over it. And of course, that means we can also take exits off of it, but I feel like it's sort of silly. But then again, at ground level, it would also be a problem. So I do think, though, that's what we will do. While we were building our highway, we did also get a milestone. This will give us money, development points, and more areas to build on. I am not going to be able to build this slip lane yet, just because we do not have the land and the tile, so this is going to have to do for now. But what we can do, though, is still connect up our highway. Now, just because it isn't going to continue in this direction right now, I will probably just put a road that connects it this way. And there we go. This should give us the ability to expand the city even more. Now what I will do is just zone in more homes. I did do quite a bit of zoning in right there. I also checked on our tram system, and it seemed to be doing good, but I did notice there was a bit of foot traffic. So I did get rid of a few crosswalks, and really all it did was make people make the decision of where to cross earlier. Now I did notice office demand did just go away seemingly for no reason, but it seems that industrial demand is maintaining and going up just slightly. Now, checking on our incineration plant, we are seeing it is actually sort of nearing capacity. Most of its vehicles are being used, and its processing speed is falling. Now, it does have a good amount of stored garbage, but I do think more vehicles should be used if we give it some more storage. Hopefully we see more vehicles go out in the future. But I do also want to check on our port. I am noticing there is quite a bit of traffic over here now, which there previously was not. Now that's because this gate of the port is being used a lot and is causing backups. Now for that, I don't think there really is a solution except to get rid of it and force people and companies to use that entrance. Checking on the actual port though, we can see that it is being used quite a bit. Again though, we do have tons of demand, so I do want to build a few buildings. Now I do think we can build about, well, just a couple buildings in this area as traffic has gone away just a bit. Also, this expressway is being used quite a bit, which I believe should take a lot of pressure off of over here, which honestly, when I designed this, really wasn't designed to have as many people as it did. So, this expressway was definitely a great upgrade. Checking on our schools though, I think a lot of them are filling up completely. Now we do actually have to build new elementary schools or upgrade the ones we already had, which is what I will do. Now I did have to move this one, and just so it looks a little more realistic, I also moved this one so there wasn't a gap. Now I do think elementary schools should be okay now, but for high schools, we definitely need to build a new one. Now as far as where to build it, I think over here is probably going to be the best answer, as there really isn't a high school over in this direction. Now there also, though, isn't really any space for one, unless we build it right here, which that really doesn't change anything about distance. I do think I am going to get rid of this house because it really is just going to make a high school much closer, which is a pretty nice amenity. Of course, I will upgrade it, and of course select an operating district. Checking on our elementary schools, I do think they are going to do fine with the upgrades they got. Now again over here, we do want to build more high density. Also, I do want to put one intersection here. I am going to make it a more simple one though. And there we go. Now I do think I will also put a roundabout here, and also change this sort of middle area to be a highway, just so it flows a little better. And I think also here too. And hopefully that should help with the backups over here. Now, before I did also put a few shops here because I do want this area to be a kind of shopping area because it is right along a highway. Of course, as we know, we are expanding our residential to come over here too, and we will see that this area is just gonna grow a lot and have a much higher population. Again, though, we will continue zoning in buildings. I did also put down a few mailboxes to make postal services better, and now I think we can build just a few more businesses. Now actually, we did unlock a signature building right here. It is a luxurious living space, and it has a high-end restaurant in it. Now I do want to check this out real quick, and it actually is a pretty nice building, I think. Now I'm not sure I want to place it here, as again it is meant to be luxury apartments, and not that this is a bad area, but I feel like we could do a lot better with this placement. Now I don't want to necessarily destroy anything over here, but as we know, this would definitely be a much nicer place for this kind of building. I don't think I'll be able to fit it on this peninsula, but that would have been cool. Possibly, though, I think we might be able to slip it into our walkable city, because I feel like it fits the theme of kind of a European city, as I feel like it is a more European style building. In the meantime, though, we will continue building homes. And businesses, too. Also, I do think it is going to be time soon to start developing over here. This area has a lot of potential. I mean, it has a train line going through it, so we will be able to put a train station there. And again, this is a pretty huge city, and it is probably one of our most important areas. And that would only make it even better. With that said, though, I think we got a lot done in this video. Anyways, that's the end of this video, and I really want to thank you for watching through the whole thing. It really means a lot. In the meantime, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below, and have yourself a great day.